And I think that this is not understanding what this person wants. And I almost feel like for you, it's, fearing that they're doing things behind your back. But that I think is what you're going to feel like. Like they just came in, got what they needed from you, and left again. And I feel like it's happening again because of the way that you come into this. Now, with the Four of Pentacles, though, coming out, they don't want to let go of you, though, and that's the thing. So let me start from the beginning here. The Queen of Pentacles. So normally when she shows up as an overall, I look at this as needing to be independent in the relationship, not being dependent on what somebody else chooses to do. But, codependency tends to be an issue with her. I think more so than like the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is just emotionally invested and involved. She can be very clingy, but when you see her on the flip side, it's more of, emotional manipulation. This is a little bit different. This is about insecurities, I think. And I do think it's you needing to, feel okay with yourself and not be so dependent on this person, because I do think that you're in that place. You do have a connection with them for sure, but you're clearly not seeing things the same way. Now, the way that you come into this with the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, this is, they've given you something that makes you believe that this is worth working on. And feeling like, this situation can work. Now, the problem, though, with that is I feel like for some of you, you have been the only one trying to make the relationship work where they weren't giving their part. But I feel like, the reason why you're moving into the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups is because it's like now they're giving you something. And you want this to be realistic. You want to go to the place of absolute security and stability. It's like you can see this going the long haul. And you want them to see that the same way. With the Two of Cups, there is definitely the connection that's there between the two of you. I think that, you both have the same feelings for each other, but when it comes to, working on something here, I think it's a little bit different for them. And what I worry about here is that you're dealing with a person, I don't want to say that they changed their mind, but they weren't really fully invested with you. Because moving into the Nine of Pentacles to me is like, we're in a relationship, but we do things separately. That ain't the Ten of Pentacles. And that's where you're at. The Queen of Wands, for you, I think that this is like, kind of like putting on a mask. And I don't mean that you're trying to deceive the other person. It's not that. It's like, I want to show that I'm strong and that I can manage this and that, I can handle things on my own too. But there's still very much this want to have this kind of relationship where you're together. But this person, I don't think sees things that way. It's like, I want to be able to live my own life, but then at the same time, they're not wanting to let you go. They just want to maintain things with you that way. For you, it's like it turns into resentment almost. Because it's like you're not getting, what you need and what you've been trying to work toward. And with the Three of Wands here, it's where do you see this relationship going? Are you waiting for them to do something here? Yeah. But I don't like the Seven of Swords because for you, I think it's in your mind, you're thinking that they're doing other things behind your back, whether they are or not. You either know about this or you don't. But I think it's more so the feeling of they just came in and took from me again, and then there they go. And I don't think that either one of you are willing to take the next steps here to see where things are going to go. But this person isn't letting go. They don't want to let go. They just want to maintain things. So I think that this person later on, the reason why they're not letting go and they're trying to maintain things with you is because you're talking about the huge wake-up call here with Judgment. This relationship isn't over. But it makes me wonder if, things didn't exactly work out for them on their own. And then there's this want to start to make progress, but they're really moving slowly and I think cautiously, but I think that you reject them. I think you reject them. I don't think that you see this as a part of your future, because it's like, I'm trying to show that I can stay in control of myself, but this isn't right because it's not what you want. You don't want this person to just come in and take from you and continuously take from you and then just leave. The Three of Cups, I do think that something didn't work out for them. I do think that you're dealing with a person here who likes to be surrounded by a lot of people, you know, and I do think that these outside influences play a part in you feeling like this. You know, whatever it is they're doing when you're not around, it really doesn't matter though, Cancer, and that's the thing. Now, when it comes to making slow progress, the thing is like, look, I want some fucking serious commitment here, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you on this. But, you know, if they're not doing what's necessary and they expect you to, you know, fill in the gap, so to speak, here, where they're not willing to make the progress, then for you, it's like, you know what? I'm going to go my separate way with the Hermit. And I think you're going to take this into deep consideration. For them, they see it as rejection. For some of you, you may straight up be rejecting this person. All right. So I think that this is going to have to do with a relationship where, for some of you, you have broken up a couple of times before and gotten back together. It does kind of have the feeling of a cycle, which would make sense as to why with the Hermit, you're kind of like sitting back and reflecting on this. And is this what you really want? You know, now for some of you, you may be focused on wanting this type of relationship where somebody can come through though and heal the damage that may have been done to you. Okay. Now that's only going to be for some of you. For those of you who are dealing with this cycle of getting back together with somebody, you know, it feels really good for a little bit, but then you go into a place where there is this bitterness. And I don't think that it's easy for you to let that go, but there's a need to hold on to your inner strength and not let that get the best of you. You know, especially if you're making another attempt with this person. But I still feel like something is lacking in this. It's like you're still not getting what you need. And that's kind of where the Hermit is coming through. But with the Two of Wands, this is you getting to know this person, but in a way where I think you start to realize that maybe this isn't such a good idea with the Nine of Swords. And it's interesting because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at soulmate, and I think that this person is a soulmate for a reason. They're trying to push you on a different path, although you see it as somebody who just can't give you what you need. But maybe the reason why they're here is to show you what you actually want, you know? Because technically anybody can be your soulmate, but this is, you know, with a love situation, a little bit different. But this is like having fears and anxieties. The Nine of Swords is not, you know, feeling good about getting back together. Now, for some of you, you may be forcing yourself to stay with a new relationship here that, you know, you have been wanting, but it's starting to sour with the Page of Pentacles and with Strength. It's like you're forcing yourself to hang in there. But the more that you find out about this person, the more you see that these are the things that you don't want. And then the Ten of Cups, yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. This is one of those situations where I don't think you're very happy. That, or you may be trying to force yourself to be happy with this person in this situation. But, you know, clearly here somebody's stepping out because they're just not feeling it. You know, but I don't think that you're oblivious to it. I really do think that this is forcing yourself here. So with the King of Pentacles, you know, male, female, you could be dealing with Earth sign here. But if this is about somebody that, and here's the thing, right? You are single, but this is very much a relationship that you allow to continue. This person may be very pushy, and I don't think it's you. I think that, you know, they're pushy in what they expect from you. And what you're really wanting here is for this person to heal the damage that may have happened. But the thing is there's just too much bitterness over, I think, possibly how things have ended a couple of times before. But I also think that you're trying to hold on to your inner strength to prevent this from going to the Ten of Swords, where you deal with another painful ending and then moving on to somebody else. But this is like forcing yourself. It's forcing yourself to be happy. Understand that the reason why this person is looked at as a soulmate is because they're trying to teach you what you should have in a healthy relationship, not this, you know? And if you took the time to actually, you know, get to know them instead of being like seduced by their charm, then you would see that this person isn't right for you at all. Now that's only going to be for some of you. And then you have the Six of Cups. All right. So I think that for some of you, it's the reason why we're looking at calling in your soulmate is because it's like you're trying to call in the person that they used to be, because that was your soulmate, right? Like, why are they not this person? How come they're not the way they were before? So and the relationship isn't going down the toilet. I don't want to make it sound like that, but there is something that you're wanting to see in this person in terms of how they were in the past. And it has to do with this like classic romantic type of feeling here. And I do think that, you know, it's going to take some time to get to this place where things are, you know, corrected, where there may have been wrongs. But it feels like the way that this kicks off is you very much enjoy this person. You know, whoever your partner is you love spending time with them. You enjoy the time that you have with them and you savor every moment. But there is a part of you that feels like you are not good enough. The Five of Swords is indicating inadequacy. My God, if I could talk right. Cancer, the hell. I do your readings and I can't ever communicate. Something happened that made you feel bad about yourself. Did this person do this to you? Maybe. Or maybe it's something outside of the relationship that's making you feel like you don't feel the greatest about yourself, or you don't feel like you're good enough. But the thing is Temperance is saying oh my God, let me slow down. Temperance is saying that the passion is still there and it's building. But this needs to be corrected. But there is something about this person that you are missing from the past. Now, for some of you, though, if you are in, and this is only going to be for some of you, if you are in a relationship where you don't feel like you are good enough, you may enjoy the time that you have, but something doesn't seem right. And passion may slowly be building here for somebody from the past that you felt like you had a classic romance with. Okay? And then you have the High Priestess, Cancer. All right. Now, you know, I'm not seeing anything here that's like indicating a cheating scenario. You know, I mean, I just think that it's one or the other coming out here. You're either keeping someone from your past a secret to yourself in the way that you feel about them and wishing that you had that, or it's about, you know, revealing these things that you're keeping to yourself about what you miss about this person from the past, especially if they hurt you in some way and made you feel inadequate. Because the Queen of Swords would say that you're focused on how the partner hurt you, right? She's not happy, but yet you still savor every moment that you have, you right? But when do you start to get bitter about the fact that you feel like you're not good enough? You know, but the thing is things are slowly starting to build here, but we're building toward making things fair and balanced with justice. You know, things cannot continue to stay unfair for you. But it's like in the meantime, you just enjoy the shit out of this person. You know, it's almost like it doesn't even matter. You know, because with the Four of Wands, we're having fun. There's nothing serious about this at all. You're just enjoying the shit out of this, for real. But where is the situation being corrected for you? You know? But like I said, with the High Priestess, this is secrets. These are the things that you're keeping to yourself. And it has to do with either somebody from the past or how this person was in the past that made you feel good. You know, and you definitely look at this like it's the classic romance, and it's like trying to call this person back. It's like, where did my soulmate go? Come back, right?